Hi, Dharma Circle, Swati here, the embodied Dharma coach. Several major events are happening this week astrologically. Today, Saturn retrograded back into Capricorn. You may recall what you've been going through over the last 2.5 years. Well, it's time to touch back in to those themes and revisit any grief or restructuring that needs to be done. And as of July 13th, we have the fullest full moon of the year. In the Vedic calendar, this is called Guru Purnima, where we honor our gurus, our teachers, the guides in our life who have been significant for our dharmic path. And it's also a very auspicious time to be taking dharmic steps and declaring your dharmic success through right action. So, over the course of the coming days, I'm going to be popping into our Facebook group and sharing simple steps to support you in clarifying your dharmic path and also supporting you in your dharmic offerings. So, this is the 4 pathways of dharmic success. And in step 1 today, I'll share with you some foundational steps, and then we'll go through all 4 steps over the coming days. You can check the events in our group for daily reminders and times for each of our steps. The foundational steps today have to do with your success and making sure that you're in alignment and connected to your body wisdom so that you can clarify your dharma and your offerings in this world. And as I say over and over again, maybe you're tired of hearing me say this, but there is no way to disconnect the body from our business. There's no way that body and business can't be aligned or connected if we want sustainable, nourishing dharmic outcomes. My definition of dharma is wholeness. So this is gathering all of your parts and pieces, all of your gifts and wisdom, and not rejecting parts of yourself, not being severed or disconnected from various parts of your body or your being. That might include stories or experiences you've had along your path. It's all welcome, and it's all part of the wholeness of your dharma and your dharmic offering. And that is very different than a career path. A career path does not honor or include all of your gifts and all of your wisdom. That is something that's very unique to dharma. So the 4 pathways of dharma, and we see this in the Jyotish chart, are artha, kama, dharma, and moksha. And in fact, your Jyotish chart gives you insight into all 4 pathways. And these are essential pathways for wholeness on your dharmic path, but also wholeness as a human being in this life, in this body. And a lot of times there's maybe in your spiritual communities or with various spiritual dogmas, there is a rejection of artha or even kama. We cannot reject any of these pathways if we are to experience wholeness in our body, in our being, and on the dharmic path. So over the next 4 days, I'm going to be sharing with you these 4 pathways, and we'll go more in depth. But I want to give you a little foundation here. Artha has to do with your wealth. Yes, wealth is an essential part of your dharmic path, making money. And we see it in the Jyotish chart. Every soul has come to this planet to experience wealth on some level of their life and to generate, create, accumulate abundance and wealth. So from a Vedic perspective and from a Vedic worldview, wealth is essential for your contentment, your soul contentment. Moksha has to do with your liberation, the liberation of your soul. This is also about freedom, release from attachments, healing, and transforming so that your trauma and your grief is not defining you, that you liberate yourself and overcome your humanity in many ways. And the understanding from a Vedic perspective is that each soul is here to be liberated. That's why we came to this planet in this lifetime. And we have a dharmic duty that supports the liberation process. So in fact, your dharma is part of the moksha process, the liberation, the freedom, the awakening of your soul and the contract that you are in this lifetime. And kama is about nourishment, desire, and the desires of your soul in this lifetime. Each soul has very specific desires in this lifetime. Why you came to this planet, what you're actually here to accomplish. And again, in the Jyotish chart, we can see this. There's very clear understanding of why you're here and what the soul is here to overcome or move towards, move away from. This is part of what I call the attraction-repulsion dynamic. And we see this from Rahu and Ketu. It's one of the ways we see this in the Jyotish chart. So every soul is going to have this strong pull towards desire. And at the same time, resistance and fear that is keeping the soul in this dynamic of resistance, avoidance. It can look like soul avoidance. And our journey and our dharmic path is about transforming this resistance, transforming the attraction-repulsion dynamic, healing the resistance and the fear that is in the body. And dharma, of course, is your duty. It is the duty of the soul in this lifetime. And it often has to do, and it's very connected to the ancestral contract that you are in this lifetime. The duty of the soul, it's intertwined with your why. Why are you here? What is your purpose? But Dharma is very specifically about duty. So each soul, in fact, has a duty in this lifetime, and it's part of why you're here, perhaps the only reason you're here. And it's why so many of us feel very strongly that there's a reason, a deeper meaning for being in this body, alive on the planet right now, at this time, which is so specific and so curious. And so the Dharma has everything to do with even the time frame for you being alive and why you are here right now, what gifts and wisdom you have in your own body that you're here to share and offer to be of service in this world. And Dharma, the light side of Dharma is very intimately connected with offering the light of your soul and being of service in this world, sharing your gifts and wisdom in a way that is both meaningful and supportive of your own evolution, as well as supporting and sharing your gifts and wisdom in this world in a way that provides support, nourishment, goodness in this world. And that is another main distinction between a career path and a dharmic path. There is a spiritual purpose for your dharma, and that is not the case for a career path. So how do you know if you're going to be successful on your dharmic path? And what are those important ingredients for success on the dharmic path? Because again, dharma and career, these paths are very different. And when I'm looking at a Jyotish chart and I'm working with my Dharma mentorship clients, we are specifically working towards alignment, contentment, ease, and more awareness and trust with your soul gifts and the purpose of your soul, why you're here, what you're here to share and offer in this world in order for you to be satisfied and content, as well as nourished and abundant. Remember, Artha and Kama are also a part of the Dharmic path and the 4 pathways of Dharma. So we cannot leave out your desires or your wealth. That's part of your Dharmic path. And I see a lot of people missing that, and they wonder why they're not content. And at the same time, if you are only after money and cravings and desire, and you're missing the moksha and the dharma, the deep soul contentment and nourishment, you're also not going to feel satisfied or successful. So it's why I want to share these 4 pathways with you, because this is how the way, this is the how, the way for you to reach deeper soul contentment and nourishment in body and soul. And that includes your dharmic business and sharing your offerings and your gifts in this world. So how do you know if you're going to be successful? What are the ingredients for success on this dharmic path, this fourfold dharmic path that every human is walking, whether they are aware of it or not? And part of your success is supported by awareness and the willingness for more awareness. And this is really important for Dharma, because that connection to why you're sharing, why you're here and what you're here to share can really spark more contentment and satisfaction. And I hear from so many clients who are confused. They don't know why they're here. They don't trust their path. They don't trust their gifts. And this is, it creates a lot of sadness and pain and suffering, especially for those of us who are dharmic workers, and we came here specifically for Dharma and awakening the light of our soul, sharing our gifts and wisdom. And if that's you, then more awareness, more tools, more resources, more guidance, it's going to be essential for your soul contentment. So here are some things to remember in order for success on your path. First of all, commitment. Another name for commitment is devotion. So bhakti. There is a deep devotion or reverence for your path, the unfolding path, the learning, the growth that is unfolding. And we're in process. There is no final destination. This is a journey of unfolding and awakening. And that's really important to remember, to stay in that feminine unfolding process. And devotion is part of this. It's an essential ingredient. The other key piece of your dharmic path that is required for more success and contentment is self-trust, courage, and trusting your own courage, taking action steps, moving in the direction of your desires, your kama, and supporting the liberation of your soul, moksha, and trusting that this devotion is leading you somewhere. It takes a lot of courage and a lot of self-trust to move in the direction of Dharma and also stay committed to the process itself. So again, Jyotish chart is a really helpful tool for strengthening our self-trust and strengthening the light of the soul, that which illuminates our gifts and our wisdom and the path itself. Creativity is another big one. Being creative, having a creative, innovative, entrepreneurial approach to life. And what I mean by that is a commitment to transforming challenges into resources, a commitment to face the challenges and trust in your own being, trust in yourself that you can overcome the challenges, that you are here to overcome the challenges. And as a result of that wisdom and that learning, sharing that with others as an offering, being of service in that way. Consistency is also key. This is a rule of Saturn, and you may be noticing that coming up even more right now with retrograde Saturn. There is a absolute need for consistency, and this is also what I would consider dhanacharya. Dhanacharya for your body, for your business, for your path, for your dharma. It requires consistency, consistently showing up. And that's consistently showing up for your body, consistently showing up for your own nourishment, joy, and pleasure, consistently showing up for that which is meaningful and important to your soul and the needs of your soul. Consistently showing up for your business, sharing your offerings and your gifts consistently. And that it comes back to commitment and devotion to the path and your consistent steps. And so dhanacharya is an essential ingredient for dharma and also the success on your dharmic path. Sensitivity is your gift, and I say this all the time. My clients are sensitive, gifted, creative women. These are the women that work with me in Dharma mentorship. If you are like us, you're highly sensitive, and as a result of this sensitivity, you've had to learn how to be in right relationship with this gift. It is a gift, and we have to know how to use this and share it in this world in meaningful ways that both nourish us and others. So your sensitivity and being in right relationship with that is essential. So 2 last reminders for your success on the dharmic path. Lastly, you need a guide, you need a mentor, you need support. The dharmic path has always traditionally been done under the guidance of a teacher or a guru. Here we are at Guru Purnima, and it's important to remind you that if you are walking alone or if you feel isolated on your path, if you often feel like no one else understands the importance of your path or the depth and the meaning that you are experiencing on your path, if you feel like you can't fully share your gifts, your excitement, your enthusiasm, then that probably means you're walking alone. And the more lives that you want to touch, the bigger your support team needs to be. And I encourage you to be seeking out sattvic teachers, guides. And what I mean by that is those who share the intention of Dharma with you and are pure of heart, come from a place of integrity. They have a lineage that is that they align with, and that the resources and the tools that they share invite you to come back to your own body wisdom. A good leader, a good guide, a good facilitator, teacher, or guru is always encouraging and supporting you to come back to your own body. What do you know to be true in your own body? Because Dharma is very self-centered. And it requires that you are body-centered, soul-centered, connected to your own body wisdom, soul wisdom, the nourishment of your soul. It can't come outside of you. It can't come from someone else. We have to be able to source from within. So we need that guidance and the reminders. Otherwise, we will get stuck and we can often implode on ourselves rather than explode and share and express. And the last reminder for your dharmic success is your warrior spirit. And what I mean by this is that you've got a little passion in you, that there's perseverance, there's this dedication to your life and this purpose of your soul. There's a willingness to meet the obstacles on the path and transform them. And it takes a warrior to do this because there are so many challenges along the way. And the Bhagavad Gita is our greatest reminder, this Vedic text. And it is such a powerful reminder of showing up on the battlefield of life. And even when it's hard, showing up for Dharma, the duty of our soul, and recommitting again and again and again to transforming our darkness into light. And without our warrior spirit, we will get distracted, avoid, lost, discouraged. And those are normal parts of the path, but the warrior is willing to recommit. And even when we meet our own darkness on the path, we recommit to showing up again and again and again and facing the challenges with willingness, even when it's hard. So notice some of these areas where you might need to show up a little bit more, where you might not be fully committed or aligned. And over the coming days, I'm going to be sharing 4 steps with you to support you in your dharmic path. These are the 4 pathways of dharmic success. Remember, they're artha, kama, dharma, and moksha. And on the last day of this Guru Purnima offering, I'll be sharing some goal setting and some further guidance with you. I'm calling it a strategy session. You can bring questions as well. And I'm going to be supporting you in creating your offering and your structure for your offering in order for all 4 of these pathways to be nurtured and awakened so that you have more success and contentment in your soul and body and business as well. And at the very end of this offering to you, I'm going to provide you with an opportunity to work with me one-on-one in close, intimate work. And I'll share more about that at the end of our process together. And this is for those of you who are really committed to your dharmic path, to being of service in this world, and to be deeply nourished on a soul level, sharing your gifts and wisdom in this world, while also meeting those needs of artha and kama, and not neglecting your wealth, your abundance, or the desires of your soul, these desires for pleasure, which is what kama is all about. And I'll be sharing more with you in the coming days as we attend to these 4 pathways of dharmic success. And I look forward to seeing you live in session. If you're looking for our schedule, check the events here in the Dharma Circle Facebook group. I've given you specific days and times where I will be showing up live, and I hope to see you then. You can also check the replays here in the group as well. Bye everyone. Happy Guru Purnima. I'll see you tomorrow.